4:34.
Yep. Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to HCP Homie Connect Podcast, episode 34. We've got Ceez in the house rocking his Laker jersey. And then you've got me, Lefty, rocking his work clothes, which I'll talk about in a little bit. No, I'm not at work, in case you're wondering. Ceez, man, what have you been up to? How was your weekend? And by the way, happy belated Easter.
Thank you, man. Just chilling, man. Chilling right here at home right now. Um, just been working, going out with the family, spending Easter with the family. Of course, I had my mom over the weekend. She was loving it. Yeah, she was loving it. Spending time with the grandkids. I
Yeah.
I was talking to my girl or my wife.
Yeah. Don't forget.
Yeah, no, I talked to my wife, and for sure we're like, dude, I think grandparents love the grandkids more than they love, the actual kids. I'm like, dude, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, yeah. So she was over here. She was having fun with them. Do the whole Easter egg. Went to church.
Right.
She loved church. She's like, oh, she actually loved our church. I was like, oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, okay. And then we went back home, ate some bomb ass chicken from this restaurant right here, Palmdale in Palmdale.
Okay.
And it's like
What's the name of it?
Se llama Ay Papá Pollo, algo así. I think it's like Cuban. But the thing is, like they cook their chicken outside, abajo it looks like carbón or la leña and shit, the wood.
Yeah.
So it's like that good juicy, and we ate it. I was like, damn, this
Okay.
chicken's good. It's juicy. I was like, man, this chicken's really good.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Okay.
I'm happy we found the spot. I was like, yes. So now it's like, cool. I could tell my wife, like, yo, let's go get that chicken. And she's gonna be like, yes.
Yeah.
she liked it. I was like, yeah, all right, cool.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I did that, and then the rest of the week just did some stuff around the house.
Okay.
Of course, doing the whole lawn, trying to fix my backyard, doing lawn care, and that's it. Taking care of these kids, and that's it, man. Chilling right here.
Okay.
Waiting for the draft on Thursday. Watching the Laker game right now. I'm right here on my on the iPad watching.
I see you got a kid's case.
I know. It's my son.
Kid's case. I know.
They're up 92-83. Yeah, they should win it. And I'm rocking my Lakers with the little Dodger patch right here. The shirt that I got from Dodger Stadium. Yeah, so it's like a reversible. So down here.
Oh shit! Okay. Oh, is it? Oh.
It's like a reversible. So yeah. So when it's Laker season, I wear this. When it's Dodger season, I flip it around and wear Dodgers.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, dude, just checking out the Lakers. Lakers should be winning it. I know Dodgers lost today. Lost to the Cubs. 10-11. So that sucks.
Oh, yeah. 1-run game. Oh,
I know it was a good game. There's a lot of runs, so I was like, oh, but yeah, man, chilling. That's it. What about you, man? How's your Easter? How's your weekend? How was your day? Tell us. Why? Start from like the weekend and then bring us up to like why you were work clothes.
Yeah, for sure. So we got some time now.
And hold on, let me say salud.
Oh, hey, for sure. Cheers.
Cheers.
I got me a little beer today. No hard liquor today because I got to finish this episode.
Oh shit, Jack and Coke.
Or else, or else I might not make it to the end of the show based on how the day went.
That's crazy.
So this weekend was a cool weekend. It was a coolest shit weekend. I will start with Saturday. So Saturday, we've been planning for like a couple of weeks with two of my youngest daughter's best friends' dads. So she's got, a little boy that she's cool with and then a little girl that she's really cool with. And we just kind of really vibe with their parents. And I vibe especially with the dads. And so last time we got together, we were like, yo, we should hang out. Like, we should do a guys trip. Like, we should go off-roading. Because one of the guys was like, yeah, I got my 4Runner, but I've never taken it off-roading. And I was like, yo, man, I've been wanting to go get some dirt on my Bronco. It's been a minute. And so they were like, yeah, let's do it. So this was the weekend that we had chose because as some of you know, like, I have no life on weekends or between, or weekdays just because of my daughter being in softball, that takes up a huge amount of our time. So this is one of the rare weekends that we were free, and I was like, "Yo, let's go off roading. Let's go to Sedona." Like, and so we were gonna do, or we did a trail, like a hiking trail
Mm-hmm.
called Devil's Bridge, where
Okay.
I'm sure you guys have seen it in regular pictures, um, where it's like that little like thin rock, and it's got like an arch underneath, and like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it's
Yes.
called
Yes.
Devil's Bridge. So in fact, let me see if I can pull it up, and I'll share with you guys right now to show it to everybody. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they we did that, but in order to get to that trail, like you're either gonna like hike 2 miles or 2.5 miles, or if you got an off-road vehicle, you can get to the trailhead and have like a 30-minute hike.
Okay.
So lucky for us, we're like, yo, fuck that. we have we have we have off-road vehicles, so let's just
Mm-hmm.
drive up there and then we'll hike that bitch. So we did that. We hiked it for a bit, or sorry, we drove up there and then we hiked it.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool. We got there, and I don't obviously it's different for everyone else. Let me fucking figure out where my picture is because it's not coming up. But once we did that, we hiked over to the trail, and then you have to wait in line because it
Mm-hmm.
gets pretty like crowded or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And then there's this whole situation where like people want to take pictures, right? So
Okay.
depending on how long the group is and everything else, and they're gonna do all these different poses and all that shit. So it can take a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, but the views are spectacular. Like, let me share a picture right quick.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do-do-do. So this is just one of the views right here. Screen. Come on. Window. Let's see. So that was one of the views from where we were at.
Okay.
Like, so we were up there, and that was one of the views right there. Like, that shit looks fake, right? That shit.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at like Sedona Mountains or whatever.
Okay.
And
Does that snow?
then yeah, that was snow, bro. At the very top of
Oh,
it, there
okay.
was snow.
Oh
Um,
shit. That's crazy.
yeah. So here go our dumbasses right here. Window. So here go our dumbasses. Uh,
Okay.
that's yeah. That guy's name is John, and that guy's name is Manny, and there's my dumbass right here in the middle. Um, and so everybody's doing different things. If it's a couple, they take pictures by kissing or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're like, yo, let's do something stupid. Like let's let's get a reaction from the crowd. And we're like, yo, let's do a prom pose. So our dumbasses, we did a prom pose. So as you can see here, like we're trying to get in position. So I don't know if you can see, but we did a prom pose, and we have to redo it
Okay.
because the guy in the middle was in the shadows. So let me see if I can zoom in. But there you
Oh,
go. Our
okay.
dumbasses are doing a prom pose, right? So everybody's getting a kick out of that. But that
Yeah.
wasn't our finale. That was not like we're like nope. We got a better one for them. So then we said we're gonna do something silly as shit, and that's our dumbasses right
Oh,
there
okay. 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 That's dope.
trying
It's
to be all
dope.
cute. um, as you can tell, so it's called Devil's Bridge because obviously this little land part right here, it looks like it's kind of like a optical illusion, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
but that's literally it's an empty space and it's a big drop off.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, and so it's like a thin piece of rock here, and then we all sat at the like very ledge of it or whatever,
Okay.
to take our pictures. Um, there's my dumbass sitting on the ledge or whatever.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
So we did that hike, whatever, and then we ended up doing some off road trail in a place called Broken Arrow,
Okay.
which was a pretty intense trail. I'd never done it. Um, I had some fucking what we call pucker moments where like I felt like I was gonna crap my pants.
Oh shit, bro.
Because it's an intense trail. And then I want to
Like
show you guys
walking or
no,
driving?
on your car,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
yeah, yeah. So I want to
Is
show
this
you guys a
like the road is narrow or is it like?
no, it's rocky, like it's all like
Oh, okay, okay.
steep and everything else. I should be able to pull up a video, but this was my dumbass right here. I stopped and I took this picture, and bro, it looks. Tell me if it looks fake to you or not. I just think I'm like, man, this shit looks fake, bro. Just
Mm-hmm.
the lighting or whatever and everything else, it looks fake. Doesn't that look like a toy car?
Yeah.
It looks like a toy car, bro. It looks like a prop. It looks like when
Yeah, it
I
looks
looked
like a
at the
prop.
pictures, I'm like, yo, that shit looks fake. But no, that's really what the lighting was like. We had just finished the trail. It was kind of muddy on the way back out from the hiking trail.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in Sedona, there's red clay. It isn't really mud. It's like a red dirt, red dust, and red clay when it rains. And it
Yeah.
had rained the day before. So my car was pretty muddy by the time we were done. But yeah, dude, this picture trips me out. I turned that into my screensaver just because it looks fake. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to, I kind of want to mess with people at work and be like, "Yo, what do you think about my toy car?" And they're like, "Oh, that's cool." And I'm like, "I'm just kidding. That's my actual car." And
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
"What? That looks fake." Um, so yeah, that one was on the way out. Let me look at a video. I want to show you. Like the funniest thing was the trail, how intense it is. And it was like there's one where I was like, "Yo, man, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was crapping my pants." Um, because it's sketchy, right? Let me see, which one is it? Um, where the GoPros. So it sucks because the GoPros,
Mm-hmm.
um, they're only gonna show you a little, like it. The angle is hard to view, right?
Okay.
It 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 will always flatten out um, how steep something is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And so let me all right, so here we go. Let me go back to us. Let me go back to here we go, put it up here. Obviously I had a great time, which is why I'm showing all this bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um come on, window two. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So you can't really see how steep this is in the camera. Like
No.
it's steep,
Mm.
bro. The drop off is really steep. Um and like it no matter how slow you go, your car's gonna slide.
Okay.
So it was like I'm over there analyzing that shit with the other guy, and he's gonna do some recording or whatever of us going down or whatever, and we're trying to plan like where we want to put the tires and everything else. Trying to figure out where we want to put our tire or my tires so that I don't fucking flip the car over.
Oh shit.
And then at the very bottom, like you can't really tell, but right here it's a drop off, bro. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like if you floor it, you're falling off. Um, but you can see kind of where he's at in relation to where I'm at.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and that kind of gives you some reference. So like here I am sliding down. In fact, I slide down one of the steps, and he just bounces because he's not sure if the car is going to keep sliding,
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
So here he is kind of telling me where to put my tires or whatever. So for off-roading, you want to say driver or passenger instead of left or right, because if you say left or right, then people get mixed up. So my car slid there, and he's like, "Yo, I'm out."
Oh shit.
So he's trying to keep recording or whatever. Um, but yeah, the car just like no matter what I do, it's gonna keep sliding. You could hear it, you could hear it kind of slide a little. And so, yeah, it was intense, dude. Like that's probably the most intense thing I've done with
Yeah.
my Bronco, outside of like what you consider, and you can see how much further he drops, right? How much lower he goes. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and so it was kind of cool. Like I said, aside from what they do the off rodeo, the Bronco off rodeo, which is where they train you to drive your Bronco a certain way, which I did was pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool. But like on my own, like this was pretty intense.
Okay.
And so
Well, that's dope. That's dope, man.
yeah, no, it was a fucking blast, dude. I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty damn good time. Everything went well. We had a moment there in that same area where we were trying to put some rocks because the guy behind me, he was in a stock Forerunner. Like it wasn't
Oh,
anything
okay.
special. Like my Bronco, that shit's got big ass tires. It's got a lift. Obviously, all straight from the factory, so technically it's still
Yeah.
stock. But his Forerunner was different. Like I was impressed, dude. Like I'm not a Toyota guy, but I
Hmm.
was impressed. I was like, yo, that Forerunner fucking, hung in there. We didn't want to risk it. Like we were trying to move some rocks, and I don't know what he did, bro, but he moved the boulder, and that shit went downhill, bro. It was like gook,
Oh shit.
gook, gook, and like both me and that other guy, we're up trying to go up there to meet him, and now it's coming down, and we're like, oh shit, we're like, where do we go? Do we go left or right? Like that
Oh
shit was
shit.
like at least like an 80
Oh,
pound boulder, bro. And we're like,
yeah.
oh shit, where do we go? And so then we move out the way, and then the guy goes, "Oh shit, your truck," which I hadn't even noticed. I didn't even think about.
Mm.
I'm like, because my shit was at the bottom already, and luckily for me, I pulled off to the side.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, please don't hit my truck. Please don't hit my truck. Luckily, like it went to the right, not to the left, and I was like,
Oh.
oh my god, like that was like the sketchiest thing that happened. Like everything else was cool, bro. We had some amazing views. We stopped a couple of times to have some beers on the trail, some snacks. Like it was a total nice trip,
Damn.
total fucking amazing trip. Would do it again. So it was cool.
Yeah.
And then we got home like late at night, or not late at night, but at night, and we met up at his wife's house, and that's where our wives were, and so it was
Mm.
cool. And then for Easter, we didn't do shit, bro. We kept it low
Mm.
key.
That's dope. Okay.
I didn't go to church, so I'm going to hell for that one. But we didn't go to
Yeah.
church. We kept it low key. We did a carne asada. I spent some time rinsing off my car because it was full of mud,
Yeah.
or that red clay, and it was pretty bad. So I was like, I don't know that I wanted to leave that sitting like that because we're gonna be out of town this weekend. Then
Oh,
after
okay.
that weekend, I've got a tournament. So I was like, man, that shit's gonna sit like that for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I got to rinse it off, and it is what it is. So Easter was low key, super
Gotcha.
low key, not a problem. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be honest with everybody on here. We were supposed to record Easter Sunday. All right. I
Yeah.
talked with my boy Cesar. We had a game plan going. Um, we both said, "Hey, no, Easter's fine. At night it'll be fine." Um, so I completely forgot that we were gonna record Easter Sunday, and I got litty titty. I
Yeah.
one drink to turn to two, three, four, and the drinks we make at home are pretty strong. So I want to say by the time it was time to record, or when he texted me, shit, I might have been at least like 9 to 12 shots in of
Man.
of tequila, and I was just like, yeah, dude, I forgot. I'm sorry, man, and my apologies to Caesar. He was pumped. He wanted to talk about some stuff that we've been talking about discussing, and I don't fucked up, Aaron. So I apologize on that one. Um, but yeah, I completely forgot, and I was like, "Yo, it's not gonna make for good TV. It's not gonna
Yeah.
make for good YouTube." Me being Liddy Titty, so we kind of postponed it till today or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the reason why I'm in work clothes is because I literally got home. What is it? It's 9:52. I literally got home like around 8:30. We started
Mm.
recording like around 9:30. I
Yep.
put my daughters to bed. Long, long day. I don't know, for those of you guys that work in administrative roles or supervisory roles, or if you have just subordinates under you, today I had to let someone go, and that shit was tough,
Yeah.
because it's not something that I necessarily agree with or like, but at the end of the day, it was like, yo, you're firing this guy, and I'm like, oh, that is not what was on my bingo card today. Um, so yeah, dude, it was a long day, and it does suck, and I'm gonna share this with them, like I was telling Caesar. But for those of you who don't know, Caesar and I have worked together in the past. Caesar
Hmm.
and I worked together at a music publishing company, which by far was probably one of the best times we ever had work. At least
Yeah.
for me, it was one of the best times I ever had working. Um, and so the HR people are like, "Oh, this is tough. I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "Yo, like." yeah, this sucks, but listen, I've had to do this with my best friend, so
Uh,
it's not the worst thing in the world. And no, we didn't. It wasn't because Caesar wasn't doing his job or anything like that. Like we got we got bought out by another
yeah.
company, and so they were letting us go kind of left and right and things like that. Um, and some were more immediate than others, and so I don't know if you remember how that went down, but um,
No,
do
honestly, I
you
don't
remember?
remember. No,
All right, so
I
I'll
just remember the company was like moving on, or like of
yeah
course they changed ownership. So I'm like, I
yeah
figured I'm like, it's gonna come time where they're gonna be like, yo, we're cutting
yeah
down, reducing
yeah
the payments or money.
yeah
So I was like, I
yeah
figured. I was like, all right, whatever.
yeah. So at that point, like Caesar worked in royalties,
Yeah.
and I've always kind of worked in operations, kind of the HR kind of field or whatever. And so I remember getting called in, and they were like, "Yo, like we want to let you know that we're about to terminate Caesar." And I was like,
Mm.
"Yo, what the fuck?" And they're like, you can't tell them, and you gotta wait, and like you're gonna have to escort him out the building." And I was like, "Ew, what?" And I remember I was like, "Yo, bro, I had this dilemma," and I'm like, "Yo, man, I can't not tell my boy Caesar." Like,
Yeah.
so, so I think we were going down to the food truck because the food truck would
Uh.
always come down, and I remember like, "Yo, dude, I gotta tell you something, but you can't say shit, bro, and you can't act any different." And then you're like, "Yo, all right, what's up?" And I'm like, "Yo, bro, they finally let you go." And you took it in stride. You're like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, they're just they're cutting people left and right." Like,
Yeah, because it's like you just
uh,
saw it, and I was like, it wasn't the same anymore. It was a great company when it was
right,
actually normal. Is like you
yeah,
said, it was one of the funniest, best companies I've ever worked for because it's like
yeah,
so dope.
it's so
Uh,
amazing.
yeah, so dope. But I was like, it just had to come to an end. So I think
Yeah,
I do remember you telling me, but like you said,
yeah.
I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. I was
Yeah,
young
you took
too.
you took it better than I did. I think I was more upset about that shit. Man, fuck
Yeah,
this company, man.
yeah,
Man, fuck this. And I was like, yeah, bro. Like they're gonna call you in and they're gonna tell you. So like, act surprised. And I was like, and then I'm gonna walk you out. I was like, fuck, dude. Like I was like, so for me, I was like, all right, yeah, what I had to do today sucked, but if I could do it with my best friend, like this ain't
yeah,
this ain't nothing. But yeah, it doesn't make it. I'm still human. I still got feelings for people.
yeah.
Um, I got to work with this person for a hot minute, so it kind of sucked. And yeah, man, I got home and I was like, I don't even have time to change. Obviously, I had to be there for him to pick up his belongings. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
follow him, to another location. It was it
Okay.
was a long fucking day, dude.
Dang.
I was like, well, got to record. I can't get litty titty. So here I am with my work clothes. Here I am with my beer. So yeah, that was my day. But I did not want to
Damn.
postpone another day, just because we got so much to talk about. At least we got one topic we really want to talk about, but
Yes, sir.
I didn't want to push it back any further. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the long rant. Sorry for the long intro. A lot longer than we
Mm-hmm.
normally go, and obviously I talked way more than I normally do, even though I talk a lot. But with that said, let's get into some sports, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, Ceez is rocking the Lakers jersey, the reversible Lakers jersey, by the way. And I'm assuming that the game is getting close to ending, if not already ending. So, Ceez, take it away and fill us in on basketball, starting with the current status of the Lakers game and who they're playing in case people aren't aware.
Okay, yeah, no, just of course, Lakers won. Not of course, but Lakers won game two, 94-85. The series
There
is
you go.
tied 1-1. So I think the next game is what's today? Tuesday. I think the next game is on Thursday, in Minnesota.
I was going to say they're traveling
Uh,
back, right?
yeah, so it could be Thursday or Friday. Sorry for not knowing, but I got it here on my phone somewhere. But yeah, they go to Minnesota now. Series is tied 1-1. It's a good series. I think the Lakers played good defense this game. The first game the game one, the Timberwolves, they just came out shooting. They were making everything 3 pointers. Oh god, every field goal they were making, they did like what is it, franchise playoff 3 pointers made, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh dude, like, all right, cool, you're not gonna do that again this whole series, so fine, get it out the way. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully the Lakers could go to the Minnesota, win 2 games, and close it out. Um, with game 5 here at home. But we'll see. But yeah, man, it was a good series, 1-1. And of course the leading scorer was Luka Doncic. He's a good scorer, good player. LeBron was playing good, but honestly, like LeBron looked old, like he looked
Yeah.
like he was out of gas, 40-year-old pobrecito.
Yeah.
But man, it was a good game. It was a good game, and yeah, man, just keeping an eye on the Lakers. I'll keep you guys updated, and as the series goes, man.
To keep everyone updated, the next game is Friday, the 25th,
Friday, okay.
in Minnesota, and then Game 4 is in Minnesota as well on Sunday.
Minnesota. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and then if they need to, they would close out in LA on
Should be Wednesday then, because I
Wednesday.
think
They would close
yeah,
out
the
Wednesday.
fly, yeah.
Yeah, they would close out Wednesday
Okay,
if they
okay.
need to go to Game 5. So that's where the Lakers are, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a good game, good series. I think they're both even because they got a good scorers from Anthony Edwards from the Timberwolves and Luka Doncic from the Lakers. So,
Mhm.
but we'll see, man. It's gonna be a good series. So, rooting for the Lakers. Go Lakers, baby. Come on.
There you go. Now, the other LA team is also tied 1-1 with their series. The Clippers are
Yep.
tied 1-1 with the Denver Nuggets. Um, they play, next game is in LA Thursday, so 2 days from today. They play Thursday in LA. Cease, what do you
Hmm.
think about that game? Who do you think is it evenly matched, or
I think it's
do you think
evenly
the
matched.
Clippers?
No,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's evenly matched because the Clippers are actually playing good. Kawhi Leonard, he's not he before Kawhi Leonard was injured, knee problems. All of a sudden, Kawhi Leonard's not injured anymore. I guess he got healthy, and the
Okay.
Clippers are winning. So they managed to just get 1 game in Denver. So they have 2 games in Los Angeles. So they're playing good, man. Shout out to the Clippers, man. They're playing really good, and we'll see what
Yeah.
happens with them. But like you said, the series is
Yeah.
tied 1-1, and we'll see what happens with them. But it's still early in the
Yeah.
playoffs. But this is a good time, when uh, another good week because we have the draft, we have NBA
Mm-hmm.
playoffs, we also have
Mm-hmm.
hockey. When the LA Kings are playing, LA Kings won
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, so they lead their series 1-0. But yeah, man, it's a bunch of sports on, so I'm loving it, man. Love it.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when we used to play hockey all the time in the
Yeah,
tennis courts?
and the
In
tennis courts, yeah.
the tennis courts, bunch of brown little kids playing hockey. That
Hell
was
yeah.
hilarious, dude.
Oh, it's
Those
just great.
good times, good times.
You had your you
Now
had your goalie pads. I had my
I had
little
my
hockey
goalie
stick
pads,
with the
right?
with the tape and shit. Oh, it's
Yeah,
just dope.
I was over there trying to be Dominic Hasek and sit my brown
Yeah,
ass. Yeah,
it's just dope.
that was fun, bro. I had a lot of fucking
Uh,
fun. That was good times, good times. But yeah,
hell
I
yeah.
fell off of hockey though. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm a little off of hockey, and other than
Look, I'm gonna give my little rant for hockey right now.
do it,
My little
do it.
my little rant with hockey is that I don't know why, but they start the playoffs the same time the NBA start their playoffs, and
Correct.
they start their season the same time they start their season, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, why? And the commissioner Gary Bateman, this is my thing against him.
Rant. Right, right.
Rant. It's like, why are you starting your season like mirroring the NBA? Like you're gonna get overshadowed. Either start it a month early or start it a month after the NBA season.
Right.
So it's like, and of course the playoffs. Like, don't start it with them because, like, honestly, like I do want to watch the NHL hockey playoffs, but at the
Right.
same time, there's NBA games going on. So I'm like, of course, my preference is NBA because it just scored. The scoring is more and up and down. I do like hockey, but I'm not a like honestly, I'm not a like NHL hockey East Coast fan. Like I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna view that team over there because I'm not from there.
Right, right.
I'll probably see the Kings game because they're from Los Angeles. But at the same time, when the Kings game's going on, there's an NBA going on. So it's like,
Right, right.
why are you're getting shadowed by the NBA? Move
Yeah.
it away from the NBA. Like, oh, that's what kills me all the time about the NHL. It's like, God, just get away from the NBA. Like, do something else, but please don't do it with the NBA. But
Yeah,
It's
I
it's
I don't
yeah.
understand their logic there. It's like it's not like they're raking in more fans, right? It's not like they're bringing in more fans. It's not like it's a sport where you're like, oh shit, they turned it around and now you're getting more fans, and it's
Yeah.
like, no, if anything, it feels the opposite. Like you're losing fans.
Hmm.
You're like
Or they're losing viewership
yeah,
because I'm not gonna watch the NHL game over the NBA game. I'm not.
right,
I'm sorry, but that's my preference.
yeah, and same. I'm not. I'd rather watch a basketball game, even though
Hmm.
I haven't had even time to do that. But I'd rather watch a
Yeah.
basketball game, or I'd rather have a playoff game, a basketball playoff game in the background.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know,
Hmm.
um, whereas with hockey, dude, like, yeah, I fell off, and it doesn't help that my team, I'm a Sabres fan,
Hmm.
um, and yes, they're from Buffalo, but it's not because I'm rooting for Buffalo. Caesar can vouch for me that my favorite player was Dominic Hasek,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
growing up. So he just
Hmm.
happened to be with the Sabres or whatever. But yeah, they've sucked. To
Yeah.
put it lightly, they've sucked for a while. So that doesn't help. But yeah, man, their viewership is down bad, and I don't know how they rebrand. I don't know how they do whatever they need to do to get more fans, but it's not looking pretty. And obviously, like you said, like going up against the NBA is not.
Yeah.
It's not smart. But I don't know what you can do at this point. I don't know that you can be like, oh,
I,
we're shifting our season, or we're taking a break in between to have our playoffs start right after the NBA finals or whatever.
and my opinion is, I think it's because ESPN and what is it, Warner Broadcast or Warner Sports or whatever's TNT.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
they went to the NHL and gave them more money so they could say, look, we'll dictate your schedule. Because I've noticed when the NBA is on TNT, the NHL games are on ESPN, and then
yeah.
when ESPN is showing NBA games, the NHL games are on TNT. So I figured, I'm like, these fools probably gave NHL more money so they could have their season around the same time as the NBA, and
Hmm.
then the ESPN and TNT could just say, look, we're not showing NBA, we're gonna show NHL.
Right,
When
right,
TNT is not showing NHL, they're showing NBA. So it's like
right.
they pretty much sold out for ESPN and TNT. So which sucks, but it's like, oh
Yeah.
man,
Oh, dude. Yeah, yeah. So NHL, get it together.
yeah.
Get it
Oof.
together, NHL. But yeah, we could see what they're gonna do there, and then yeah, like I said, that's it for basketball. There isn't a lot of
Yeah, well, I
yeah.
mean, we'll keep you guys updated, but yeah, for sure, it's
Hmm.
it's a good series with the Lakers and the Clippers. So series is tied
And
1-1 for both teams.
I hope that the Lakers and the Clippers don't face each other in the playoffs
Mm,
because I don't want one to have to knock the other one out. I mean, at
yeah,
one point they will, right?
yeah,
But like if that's the case, then fuck it. I'd rather it happen in the conference finals or whatever,
yeah.
as to see who decides to move on to the finals.
Oh,
But not
that'd be
before,
dope.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that'd
not
be dope.
before it. Yeah, so that would be cool. And I guess I'm a sucker, so I'm gonna be rooting for the Clippers just because they don't have shit.
Yeah,
They haven't tasted a single championship in their lifetime, so I would root for them. The Lakers, well, the Lakers are the big money team. They
yeah,
they can definitely get their championships any point in time. So we'll see how that goes, man. But yeah, like Caesar said, he will keep you updated because he is our resident basketball guy. I am
yes,
I am
sir.
just a casual basketball fan, not a diehard. All right. Well, that brings us to the next sport where we are both diehards, and that is the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. And I know that Caesar and I are very giddy about Thursday because
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, for those of you who don't know, is the NFL draft. And for those
Yes,
of you who have no
sir.
clue what the NFL draft is, that is when they draft collegiate players into the NFL. And so it's a very exclusive club to be drafted into the NFL. The NFL does a really good job of milking it for what it's worth, publicizing it, making it this huge event. It's now a national tour, right? Where every
Mm-hmm.
city on a different year gets to host their
Yeah.
the draft, and obviously because of that being the case, then every city is constantly trying to one up the previous city, which I think is
Hmm.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it makes for great TV. I don't like that they've split it up into multiple days, but I get why they do it. But I was a bigger fan of
Hmm.
do it on a Saturday and Sunday and do it all fucking weekend long. Yeah, there's some long ass
The
days, but for diehards like Caesar and I, we absolutely loved it when it was all fucking day long.
Yep.
So this Thursday is only round one, which is 32 picks.
Hmm.
32 teams are picking. Obviously, all 32 pick at least once, unless they trade out and they give their pick to another team. But we look forward to that, and obviously, we're looking for our teams
Hmm.
to make their respective pick and really see who we're bringing on, and if it's who we thought they were going to bring on, because as I mentioned, we're diehard NFL fans, especially for our teams. So we're constantly watching collegiate games too. So we're watching college football. Um, we're kind of in the mix. We're not experts by any means, but we know who the seniors are. We start to identify who's going to declare for the draft and things like that. I know that
Yeah.
he keeps up with the Senior Bowl. I keep up with the Senior Bowl, pro days, the combine, all that stuff. We keep an eye on it. We don't really necessarily talk about it on our podcast because we don't want to bore you like that. But we keep track of it, so we're curious to see. And then I know, which I got to talk to Caesar about because we haven't done it. Is are you going to give me your mock draft and then I got to give you my mock draft? Remember, we
Oh,
normally do the little. We got to do that.
yeah.
Yeah, we got to do that
Damn,
so
I
we can
forgot
see
about
what we're
that.
at. Yeah, so we can see where we're at with the first round. I think I
Yep.
had
Yep.
you beat last year. I think you might have had
Mm,
like 9 right. I think you had 8 and I had like 9 right. I don't think it was by a lot. Um, but yeah, and I think we
yeah.
completely
Yeah. I think. All right. I'll try to do one tomorrow then, because I know
yeah
tomorrow's Wednesday, pretty much the last day. And then if not tomorrow, Thursday. But yeah, I could do one for sure.
yeah yeah. So I'll do the same. Get that going.
Okay.
And then we are going to do a well. We hope we have the chance to do a short episode after the draft to kind of just recap what we talked about, what we saw, and then that'll come up after, and we'll
Hmm.
upload that one as well. So, keep an eye out for that one. But with that said, Cease, what do you think about the draft? What do you got your eyes on? What do you think your team's gonna do, and what do you think we should look out for in general?
I think, well, just to start off, the 49ers got the 11th pick in the draft, so it's pretty high. They had a shitty ass season yesterday. I mean, last season, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they got the 11th pick. What I'm hearing is that they're going to go defensive line ish. So they
Okay.
could go defensive tackle or defensive end. So I know the player they've been sticking to most, what I've heard mainly from like Niner insiders, reading Instagram posts, is Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Mississippi. Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
um, either him or defensive end Mike Green from what is it, Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
He had a good Senior
Pro
Bowl.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
no, Senior
No,
Bowl.
Senior Bowl. Senior Bowl.
Mike Green. Yeah, I was like, damn, this one stands out. And then
Yeah.
Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M. They said they've linked all those three to the 49ers. So I'm like, okay, gives me an idea. Defensive line. I'm fine with it. Like I said, I trust the system. I trust the organization. It's John Lynch. He knows what he's doing. He's an old, ex NFL player. He knows, how to get his players. So fine. Honestly, I'm more excited about the second and the third round, where they
Mm-hmm.
say you can find a bunch of starters in the middle, third, fourth round. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I know the
Right.
49ers got like 3 picks in the third round. So yeah, man, I'm excited. So I'm just waiting. Whatever they get, I'm sure I'll be happy. I'm fine with it. And we'll talk about it more on Thursday. But my guess is they're gonna go defensive line.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
As for Buffalo, I think the
Mhm.
general consensus, sorry,
Mhm.
it's gonna be CB. So it's gonna be a corner.
Okay.
Um, I think either a corner or a safety, but it's looking like more like corner. I know that there's been different names that I've heard. I've heard a guy named Siobhan Ravel. Jr.
Okay.
Big corner. From what I understand, he might drop in the first round just because he had a knee injury, a season-ending
Okay.
knee injury. Uh, but dude's supposed to be pretty solid. Um, I've heard the name Eminwari,
Mm-hmm.
um, if he drops. But I've seen him kind of going in the late teens to early
Yeah.
20s, which would kind of put him out of reach for Buffalo. I don't think he's going. I don't think Buffalo's going to trade up. I think they're really in the position of like we're gonna take best player available,
Yeah.
um, and just kind of go from there. I really do think that it's going to be a CB, especially because I'm not sure if you know, but the Bills just brought in or they signed Tre'Davious White.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I saw
yeah,
that.
so they signed Tre'Davious White with what people believe is it's a sign that they're going to go corner because obviously we know we're not going to start Tre'Davious White unless some
Mm-hmm.
kind of miracle happens. He's not going to be CB2, so we're looking for a CB2, and
Okay.
and we think that that's going to really help having a Tre'Davious White as insurance for a CB2 rookie. So that's kind of why most of what I've heard is that they think it's going to be a CB, especially picking that late into the first round. That Buffalo would, focus on what's best available, and what's probably going to be best available at that point in time is going to be a corner. Of course, I
Okay.
think that at the end of the day, if Buffalo doesn't have anyone that they want, I think they would trade out. Now there is another name that I've heard that I actually kind of like. If it's not corner, it's
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Grant, the
Mm-hmm.
the defensive
Mm-hmm.
tackle from Michigan.
Yep.
I think he would be a nice pickup. I think it would be a nice stud for that defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that would work perfectly for Buffalo. Now I
Okay.
know that there's a lot going on now because for those of you who know, there's a bit of drama with James Cook.
Mm-hmm.
James Cook wants to get paid. I know we talked about it in the last podcast where I don't think he'll hold out because he doesn't have the money to hold out necessarily
Mm-hmm.
because he's on a rookie contract. And so he did not show up to voluntary camp though. He's a
Oh,
no-show.
okay. Shit.
So there's that, right? But it's voluntary, so I mean, you can't look too much into it. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I don't think that he's going to hold out. But even then, I wouldn't draft the running back with the first pick.
No,
I
no.
just I don't think it's worth it. Not for Buffalo. We've got Ray Davis, we've got Ty Johnson. Not to say that James Cook isn't an amazing back. I do think he is an amazing back. I just think this is kind of the cat and mouse game that's played anyways
Yeah.
with the contracts. So I think it's just part of the pomp and circumstance kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, but there could be a chance that Buffalo would trade him during draft day.
I
If
doubt
somebody
it.
wants, I doubt it too. But if somebody
Yeah.
wants to be stupid enough to say, "Hey, we'll give you a second round," and plus this, if you trade James Cook, I think Buffalo would be stupid not to consider it.
Yeah.
Um, I would trade James Cook for anything less than a second, if that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't think they're going to trade him. I don't think it's worth it for Buffalo. I don't think it's worth the
Mm-hmm.
hit, especially when we think that Buffalo is going to call his bluff and say, "Hey, you're going to show up because you don't have the
Yeah.
money to hold out. You're on a rookie contract. It is what it is."
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, we've seen that most of the mock drafts that I've seen, most of the things that I've heard on podcasts, Buffalo is going to go best available, and that best available is probably going to be in the defensive backfield, which
Okay.
it is an area where we're lacking for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so
Okay.
the other thing I want to ask you is,
Mm-hmm.
where do you think Shador Sanders is going to land? Because now there's a huge range of where he might land.
Yeah.
I've seen him drop into the teens. Obviously, I've seen him be in the top two. And
Mm-hmm.
now I recently saw one that had him at 32.
Okay.
With the Giants trading back into the first round with Philly to
Oh
take him
shit.
at 30
Okay.
to take him at 32. I don't know how accurate that is. What are your thoughts? And then I'll share my thoughts.
I mean, he's definitely the top two quarterback in this draft. It's I think it's Cam Ward, then it's Shador. Uh, I honestly I hope he goes with the Raiders, which is pick number 6. Raiders they have Geno Smith, which is Geno Smith. Like I said, it's not your future quarterback. It's just maybe 1-2 seasons and then you move on. I think that's enough time for Shadur Sanders to get acclimated to the NFL and then become a starter after Geno Smith. After that, oof, if he falls maybe to New Orleans, like we said with Derek Carr, with his injury. After that, oh man, it's gonna be no, not the Colts. Oof, they have. I know NFL has them going to the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 21. NFL.com, Bucky Brooks has them going to the Pittsburgh and the Steelers. It does make sense because the Steelers do not have a quarterback. They have not signed if they're going to sign Aaron Rodgers. They let go of Russell, and I think the only one they have is Mason Rudolph. I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if he passes all the way down Pittsburgh, then damn, something's wrong with him. Something is up with him because to fall after Pittsburgh, like oh man. But I honestly I think he's gonna go with the Raiders because they do need a future quarterback. That franchise is starting to go in the right direction. I feel the Raiders are starting to go in the right direction, and I think Shedeur Sanders would be a good direction to go with. So, yeah, that's my opinion.
Sitting behind
Gino, yeah.
Geno Smith.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to learn. It's not bad sitting. Just learn the system, learn the speed of the NFL, and then go
Mm-hmm.
out there and kill it. But we'll see, man.
Okay.
He's definitely the wild card, and I've heard of a lot of teams moving up to get Jackson Dart, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, cool. If he's Dart is a top 10, I was like, that's cool with me. That means more good players
Right?
fall down, and
Yeah.
so I was like,
Yeah, for
cool.
reals.
So yeah, man, we'll see. But what about you, man? Where do you think Shador Sanders will go?
So okay, so I'm split. I'm glad you bring that up because I'm
Yeah.
split. I'm not a Shador Sanders hater,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not a Shador Sanders believer.
Mm.
Um, if that's even possible, right? Like, do I think he can play in the NFL? Sure. Do I think he's a once in a lifetime franchise quarterback? No, I don't
Okay.
think that's the case. Um, I don't think, in my eyes, I didn't think he was worthy of the second overall pick.
Yeah.
And I said it before, right? I thought the number one pick I thought was Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that I think Cam Ward is also a generational talent.
Yeah.
It's just a crap. I think it's somewhat of a crappy draft class. It's not like an amazing draft class.
Yeah.
Um, and so I I don't know him dropping 32nd. That's bullshit. It's not gonna happen. I that's just stupid. Someone's gonna
Mm-hmm.
trade up if he keeps dropping. Because it's still Shador Sanders. There's still some
Yeah.
talent there. Um, I don't know that if you're the Raiders and Ashton Genty is there, I don't think you
Mm-hmm.
take Shador over Ashton. I wouldn't personally.
Yeah.
I think Ashton can help the 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 Raiders a lot more now than Shador
Yep.
could now. And if
Mm-hmm.
even if you have a bad season, then you could take a quarterback next year, um, and you have Ashton, and now you've got a stud running back. And then you go get your quarterback next year. I think that's a
True.
great move.
True.
So I don't know that they would take. Uh, I don't know that they would take Shador if Ashton's there at 6. The next one that I think would be stupid to pass on Shador would be New Orleans. I think at 9, New
Yeah.
Orleans has to consider Shador. it doesn't make sense to pass on Shador, and I don't think there's anyone there that's worth taking over Shador.
Yeah.
Um, they could take a tight end, which puts
Mm-hmm.
him in the range of Tyler Warren.
Yep.
And I know that they don't really have a stud tight end, right? Not that I know of in
Jawan Johnson,
Juwan
is it?
Johnson, but
I
I
mean,
mean, yeah,
he's not a stud. I mean,
he's
yeah,
not a stud. Tyler Warren,
yeah.
Juwan
Mm-hmm.
Johnson. One you can keep on
Exactly.
a rookie contract. The other one you'd have to pay more eventually. So that's the only reason I would see them passing on Shador, or you just get a
Mm.
hell of a haul for someone trying to take Shador. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
see Shador dropping past the top 10. Worst
Okay.
case scenario, like you said, he goes to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know that Pittsburgh would, if he does get past 10, if or 9, if New Orleans
Mm-hmm.
does not take Shador, I don't think Pittsburgh waits till they pick in the 21st pick. I think they move up.
Yeah, they move up. Yeah.
Because you don't want the Giants to move back in and then the
Mm-hmm.
Giants take him. Because the Giants would then say, yeah, fuck yeah, we're going to take him. We're going to just jump back in and we'll take him now then. So I would
Okay.
think at that point Pittsburgh jumps up to take him, not at 21. They just jump up to take him. But I don't know. Why do you think there's so much hate for Shador, dude?
I think it's because the same thing. It's Deion Sanders, his son. I think part of it is the media. Going against, honestly, just put it bluntly, just going against a black kid. That's it.
Right.
And that drives clicks. That drives people to read the column and let me
Right.
click on
Right.
this because it's Joe Sanders. That's
Right.
what I
Right.
think it is. I think he's a good player. I think he's. I think it's a actual plus that he has his dad, Deion Sanders, as
Mm-hmm.
a mentor.
Right.
And it's honestly someone I would love to have on our team, because it's like, dude,
Yeah.
like, Deion Sanders' son. I'm sure he raised them correctly.
Yeah.
But can he play football? Like you said, he's definitely not, the player that we think that's going to be like, oh, all world, Shador Sanders
Generational.
is gonna, yeah, exactly. No, I don't see that. Can he play football? Like you said, yes. But we just have to wait and see. That's all it
Right.
comes down to is Shadur Sanders.
Right. Right.
But I mean, I'm. It's gonna be curious. That's gonna be the pick that everybody's gonna go like, oh shit, Shadur Sanders
Yeah.
going. Like
Yeah.
that's the pick that everybody's like
Yeah.
looking forward to.
And that's gonna be the
But
drama,
yeah,
right?
man.
That's gonna be the
Yeah.
drama where you're
Hmm.
like, oh, they gotta take him here. Oh shit, they didn't take him here. Um,
Yeah. The
yeah,
funny
that.
thing is, he got invited to the draft, to the players,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not going to be among the attendees. I think he's going to do it from his home in Colorado, I guess, with his family.
Oh,
So I was
okay.
like, oh, okay, okay. So I'm like, so I'm my guess is like he's probably like, oh, I might drop all the way down to the, down, and I'll be right there in
Yeah,
the,
you don't want to be in
in the
that green room in the waiting room, bro.
exactly,
Yes.
and be like, oh
Yeah.
man, what's gonna happen? The camera's gonna be on your face all
Oh
day.
yeah,
So I was
all
like, yeah,
day
it's just
long, all day long.
yeah. So yeah, man, it'll be dope. That's gonna be the pick that's gonna have everybody with their mouth open, like, oh damn.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see what the pick is. So just to do it in the next podcast, who one guess? Where do you think he's gonna go?
I think he goes. So I heard that the Browns and the Giants are looking to trade out. So that's gonna make it hard.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna
With no
say
trades, what do you think is gonna?
no trades. I think he goes New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah. All
I
right, all right,
think.
all right. I'm gonna keep it. Uh, yeah, you're right because New Orleans they kind of do need a quarterback now and shit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What about you?
But I'm gonna keep it with my Raiders. my pick.
Oh,
I
okay,
think he goes
okay.
with the Raiders, and we'll see. We'll talk about it
Okay.
on Thursday. Like,
All
oh, okay,
right.
okay,
All right. All right. I
yeah,
like
bro,
that.
yeah,
I
we'll
like
see, we'll
that.
see.
Has he did he visit the Raiders? Do you know if that was one of his visits?
I think so. I think a lot of teams visited him,
I don't
but
think he visited the Saints, right? Because it just kind of happened really late where the whole Derek Carr situation.
yeah.
I don't know if
I
he
mean,
visited the Saints.
honestly, I'm not sure. I really don't care
Yeah.
if he did or didn't, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of tape on him, and but we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Can't wait,
Yeah,
man.
that
I'm like looking forward to this
yeah.
draft. Like,
Yeah, just the drama of that part, right? The whole
yeah,
drama of that. I'm
yep,
curious to know where Jackson Dart, if they're really taking him that high, if they're really that hyped on him.
mhm,
I like Jackson Dart though. I told
yep,
you this the last draft, the last
yeah,
couple of podcasts that I like Jackson Dart. Again, I don't really see any
okay,
generational talent out of the quarterbacks here, but that doesn't mean that they
nah,
won't be. But yeah, all right, all right. In other NFL
all right,
news, I don't know what they have Miami taking, but do you think Miami should be considering a receiver at their pick? They pick is it 13th, I believe. They do pick 13th. Should they take a receiver? Is there even a receiver worth taking? And for
oh,
those of you who don't know that I'm
don't,
asking, go ahead. No, I don't.
uh huh,
There's Luther Burden. Um,
yeah,
that's pretty much the only receiver. You've got Emeka Egbuka, the Ohio State guy.
mhm,
Sorry, guys. The other guy that I like a lot is Matthew Golden. I really like that guy.
mhm.
From
Oh, okay,
Texas.
from Texas, yeah.
Yeah. Opposite of Jalen Waddle. That might be kind of nice. And the reason I say that is because Mr. Tyreek Hill has once again gotten in
Yep.
trouble with the law.
Yeah.
Uh, this time it was a what is it? Domestic abuse or domestic violence, a DV case that he got.
Mhm.
Apparently, this time it involved his baby mama and the alleged
Yeah.
grabbing of his infant daughter or toddler daughter and going towards the balcony of their sky
Mhm.
or their high rise condo or whatever you want to call it. And recently, I saw
Yeah.
video. Um, I saw video of it. How someone decided to say, "I'm going to look at that floor, at that balcony, just randomly to see what's going on," and they caught the drama. Um,
Yeah.
He didn't hang his child over the
I mean,
balcony like they made it seem. At least not on what's caught on
no.
video. Right? Not what's caught on video. So I'm not sure if those of you have seen it.
Mhm.
If you
Mhm.
haven't seen it, maybe go check it out. But I didn't see him hanging his daughter. He came back a second time as well, but the second time he didn't even go near the balcony with his daughter. The first time when the video shows, he's kind of looking down while holding his daughter, but he's not dangling
Yeah.
like you said. He's not doing the Michael Jackson with his child. So I didn't see that, but of course we don't know what happened prior to that. We don't know what he did to his baby mama. We don't know what he said or how he treated her. But you gotta assume that the NFL is going to step in with some kind of discipline, regardless if he put his daughter in danger or not. Uh, that kind of player conduct policy is kind of like a broad stroke of like we're going to punish you
Yeah.
regardless because you should have known better to stay out of that situation. And obviously, this is not his first kind of stint with or interaction with the law. So I kind of think that they might be over his shit, and B, he's probably going to get a suspension. So with that said, do you draft a receiver?
I mean, I think you should because I mean, with him, I know the Dolphins are talking about trading him at one point,
Mm-hmm.
and even Tariq Hill, I think at the end of the season or during the season, he was like, "Yeah, this is probably like the last season for me here in
Mm-hmm.
the Dolphins. I'm looking for
Correct.
starting somewhere new, blah blah blah." So it's like that relationship with the Dolphins is like, we like you, but then we definitely could trade your ass.
Right. Right.
Um, or we could get rid of you and we'll be fine. So yeah, I can see the
right?
Dolphins taking a quarter. I mean, a receiver. I know the McMillan guy from was it Arizona State. I
Oh,
want to say.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know
I think it's Arizona.
he's the top one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the top receiver, and I do like you said. I do that Texas. That I know Texas has two receivers
Mm-hmm.
that I've heard are really good. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it should be a receiver, but I know the Dolphins have needs at a lot of different places. So,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with them.
Yeah, I think they're also looking at corner, from what I understand, just because Jalen
Yeah,
Ramsey's on the trade block. So
exactly. Yep.
that's other news, right? Jalen Ramsey's on there. My wife was like, "Oh, do you think
Yeah.
Buffalo should trade for Jalen Ramsey?" And I was like, "It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but Buffalo doesn't really trade for big time players.
Yeah.
They'd rather grow their players up, so they're not really going to make that. Um, so I don't think they would." But she was like, "I wouldn't want him." And I was like, "Okay, I wouldn't say I wouldn't want him on my team.
Mhm.
It's still Jalen Ramsey." Um,
Yeah.
but I think they're gonna go. They're gonna go corner. But I think maybe
Yeah.
that's something they consider. But who knows? And then
Yeah.
just to clarify, McMillan is a receiver for Arizona. So U of A,
Okay,
not
Arizona. Yeah.
ASU, because we don't want to piss off
Yeah.
any
Okay.
potential Arizona State fans or U of A fans that may ever listen to this. It is,
Okay.
and they're two
Okay.
very big different. I don't think it's to the level of UCLA versus USC. I could be wrong,
Mhm.
uh, but there is definitely a big difference and kind of mindset for U of A and ASU for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so they definitely. I've seen him going to Dallas though, so that would be very interesting. Mr. McMillan going to Dallas.
Mm,
That would that would
I've
be
heard
interesting.
Tariq Hill getting traded to Dallas. I've heard that.
Oh,
I was like, oh,
okay.
okay.
Which might change things then, because if
Yeah.
you do send Tyreek Hill to Dallas, do you then need to draft McMillan? And if
I mean,
that's the
yeah,
case,
because
does McMillan fall to Miami?
yeah, maybe.
Ugh, I would hate McMillan.
I mean,
I don't want
they said
McMillan there.
McMillan's a top. They said McMillan's a top 10 pick, so I think he's not gonna fall outside the top 10. I think Dolphins have the
13th.
10th, 13th. There you
13th.
go.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think McMillan falls out of the top 10. I
Okay,
heard
all
he's
right.
good. So yeah,
Yeah, he's definitely good. All right. All right. So that's going to wrap it up for the NFL.
yeah,
Another sport that's in season, and one that, unlike the NHL, has been consistently picking up viewership and steam and fans. And most recently, Cesar has started paying attention to.
yeah.
Want to tell them what that is, Cez?
Oh, F1 racing is getting good. I know
Yeah.
this past race was in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. That's
What is it?
correct.
Piastri won the race.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was hold on.
A little bit of controversy.
I want to see. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that too. I was like, oh, what do you think? What do you think happened?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
first place was Piastri. What is it? Second place was Max, and then Leclerc was third, and Lando
Mm-hmm.
Norris was fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course George Russell's like. Did you say George Russell's still there? Like George Russell just
Yeah.
hangs around there,
Yep. I
and then
sure did.
the rookie
Uh,
Antonelli's still there. I'm
Antonelli.
starting to like Antonelli. Yeah, I'm starting to like
Mm-hmm.
him, man.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the other dude I'm starting to like is Hadar. Hadar,
Oh,
yeah,
Hajar.
Hajar.
Hajar. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah. And did you see my boy Carlos Sainz came in the top 10?
Yeah, so,
Both Williams cars came in the top 10 this time. So let's
mm-hmm.
talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's make this a good one for those that are into F1. By the way, Hajar also got points. He came in 10th. Um,
Yeah,
so
10th. Mm-hmm.
so that works too. But yeah, let's talk about it. Let's give me 1 second. Why is this? I don't need to hear this. Why is it playing ads on my shit? This is ridiculous. Why are you playing ads? How dare you? All right. So let's talk about it, man. Let's shoot. Let's get
Yeah.
your thoughts on it, and then you can ask me all the questions you want, and then we'll get this going.
No, I mean, I honestly, like I said, I kind of
Okay.
watched parts. I think I watched the beginning of the race,
Okay.
and then I had to leave for Easter and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried to catch like the replay, but I couldn't find it, so I caught highlights pretty much.
Okay.
I
Okay. Okay.
know there was a Max Verstappen had a, I think he had a penalty like within the
Mm-hmm.
first lap or something like that, or first
Right.
start.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I know that messed him up, but Max still had a good car. But the McLarens, they have an outstanding team right now. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just my thought is like, man, like it's McLaren's season to lose. Like
Correct.
it's either Piastri
Correct.
or Lando Norris.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
they they just dominating. They're always up top, and that's it, man. We'll see. We'll see. Just wanted to get your insight on the whole Max Verstappen. What did you see, and then what was the punishment that he received?
Yeah. All right. So yeah, man. So it's funny that you say that. So I actually put money on Verstappen to win this race. I'm so bummed. I was like,
Okay.
oh man, I thought he was gonna win again. I just kind of had a feeling, and he might have won had he not gotten a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in a good amount of tracks, that first turn, that first turn is pivotal. And
Yeah.
so in this one, Max Verstappen didn't get a good launch, and so Piastri was literally right on his ass, pulled up right next to him, and pretty much had the right to the turn. He had his pretty much had the space. Uh,
Yeah.
Verstappen Verstappen didn't budge, claimed that Piastri didn't give him the room and that he was ahead at the
Mm-hmm.
apex, which makes a big difference in terms of the best lane for your turn, or the best lane or racing line in a turn, and
Yeah.
so he went off track. And so if you go off track and you gain an advantage, that's a penalty. You're supposed to give it back. You're supposed to give the
Mm-hmm.
spot back. Most teams will do that in order to avoid a penalty. Now,
Yeah.
normally that tends to be a 10-second penalty, and he didn't get that 10-second penalty. He got a 5-second penalty, but it there's a different strategy. So it just kind of depends on how you want to manage it, right? So a couple of things could have happened. Red Bull could have said, whatever, fuck it, give him the spot back so we don't get a penalty. So
Mm-hmm.
give Piastri the spot right where you think you can catch him right back and then get it back. So that's what some teams do, right? They'll dilly
Okay.
dally a little bit, whatever. Okay, fine, give it back to him because we're about to get in a spot where we can overtake him, or we know he can't ditch us. And
Okay.
and they didn't do that, but some teams will do that. And Red Bull has done it before in the past. Like, fuck it, give it to him, hang around with him, and then pass him. Um,
Okay.
and then other teams will say, nope, we're going to keep writing this out. We're going to see what kind of penalty they're going to give us. We're super confident in our car. So if they give us a 5-second penalty, we think we can hang with them, even after we take the penalty, or we're just going to finish more than 5 seconds ahead of them. So it's not going to fucking matter.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Or we hope something's going to happen, like a crash, so that when then we can come in, do a pit stop, and take the penalty. So that's what some teams do.
Okay.
And in this instance, that's what Red Bull decided to do. They said, we're not giving the spot back. Um, we'll wait to see what happens. And then if we need to pit, and when it's time to pit, we'll take our 5-second penalty and then go from there. And so you by now know that in F1, every fucking second counts, right? They've got this shit
Yeah.
calculated down to a T. They know how long it takes for you to rumble down into your pit lane. They know if you've got a 2.5-second pit stop, like you're in good shape. You're going to get out here. This is where you're going to land. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and with a 5-second penalty, when you do that, then it means that you got to sit. Your car has to sit there for 5 seconds without being touched. So
Okay.
essentially, let's say you do the pit stop in 2.5 seconds, but because you couldn't touch the car for 5 seconds. Now essentially it becomes a 7.5-second pit stop
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
terms of that, and that is an eternity in F1.
Mm-hmm.
Which if it happens when the cars are going slow because of a safety car, then it's not that big of a deal. But when it doesn't, they gambled, they lost, it hurt. They were never able to catch Piastri.
Yeah.
Um, I personally think that was a stupid move. I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand their logic. I thought like you could have hung with Piastri. I thought you
Mm-hmm.
should have given the spot back because I did think that Max was wrong in that spot. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he got a bad
Yeah,
start.
Max Piastri had the line. He
Yeah,
no reason to move. Like, dude,
right,
you slow down because I was in
right.
Piastri was in the middle, and then Max was on the right side, and he had no
Yeah.
lane.
So so I think Piastri was in the right.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I think. I mean, Max is a champion, so he knows all the ins and outs. He knows the little tricks here and there. So obviously, he's going to do what he can to milk it. And lucky for him, and I know a lot of people have said it too, is that lucky for him, Piastri kept his tires in. If one of his tires, if he would have gone off track or whatever at any point, then it would have been nullified, right? Because they both went off track.
Okay.
But because Piastri
Yeah.
kept it on the track and Max didn't, then he was given the penalty. And he didn't get a normal 10-second penalty because it's what they called a racing incident, which means it literally was
Okay.
the first turn of the race. Everyone's jumbled up. Everyone's trying to get themselves positioned. None of it was necessarily evil or harsh or whatever. They're just trying to get position. So that's why he didn't
Mm-hmm.
get the 10-second penalty. He got a 5-second because of
Okay.
it. But again, it was still enough to cost him the race. Um, I
Gotcha. Gotcha.
think you know. I think it was. I think it was a good race. I think it was like I
Mm-hmm.
said,
Yeah.
uh, George Russell hung around. Kimi Antonelli. I like Kimi Antonelli as well. Um,
Yep.
and you know, I love watching these races because going back to it, it only vindicates that like Checo is, you know, it's the car sucks. The car
Yeah.
sucks, right? And obviously, Red Bull doesn't have the car that McLaren has. McLaren has an amazing car.
Yeah.
That's for a fact. And so, you know, I don't know that Red Bull is going to hang with them. I don't even know that they're going to come in second in terms of the constructors.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I don't even know who's going to be the drivers' champion, which is pretty cool in that
Yeah.
aspect. It's going to be a really tight race. I mean, hell, if George Russell keeps freaking like hanging around and he keeps being consistent in the podiums, and one of these top three drivers kind of screws up and doesn't, crashes out and doesn't get any points, like that puts the situation a little bit different, right? And so,
Yep.
um, but I think it's going to come down to Piastri or Lando Norris, and
Mm-hmm.
I think McLaren. This is where McLaren is kind of stupid. They they've got two number one drivers, but I don't think they know how to manage it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to dig themselves into a hole where it's going to be a hot mess, and and we're going to see what happens because of that. Like
Okay.
because at what point, if you've got the two best cars on the track, and most of the time your guys are going to be 1 and 2, okay? Right now, as it
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
stands,
Mm-hmm.
right now as it stands, it's Piastri's the leader, the number one leader in points for
Mm-hmm.
the driver championship, with Lando
Yep.
being second. So what are you gonna do if the next race you've dusted everyone else and Piastri's in second and Lando's in first? Are you gonna tell them to swap? Because that's what some teams do. They say, "All right, fuck it, swap." Are you gonna tell them to swap,
Mm-hmm.
or are you gonna say race it out? Do you want them to run the risk of them crashing each other out? Now you've got no points. Now they
Yeah.
don't finish the race, and now your also constructors lead is at risk. Um, or do you decide to establish a hierarchy and say, no, Lando's our guy, we want him to win the drivers, or no, Piastri's our guy, and we want them to win the champ.
Yeah.
Like they've set themselves up to create some unnecessary drama, which is a good thing for us, the viewers, who will be like, oh shit, what is McLaren gonna do?
But you got to be honest though. It's a good problem to have when you have two good drivers. Like that's if you're an owner, that's the problem you want.
One
You
hundred
want
percent,
you want your both your drivers to do great, and this is
one
what's
hundred
happening.
percent.
Now, if it was up to me, I'll be like, yo, whoever wants it, go get it. That's it. Just drive and shit. Just don't fuck each other up. That's the main thing. you know, don't crash each other. But of course, accidents can happen, but
Mm-hmm.
that's a problem that you as an owner definitely want because
Well,
it's
but at the end of the
pretty much.
day, they're both competitors, right? They're both
Mm-hmm,
drivers. There
mm-hmm.
can only be one driver. So if you tell them drive, I don't care which one of you wins. Like you're opening that up to like creating conflict in the team, right? Um, them duking it out,
But
and
if you
just
do
so
it the
you know,
other way, go, go,
well,
go.
that's part of the reason is like they've been inconsistent with how their strategy is, and this is kind of
Yeah.
the mess that they've made for themselves. Um, because yes, if you let them fight for it, that's fine. But what happens is when you also if you're fighting back and forth with your teammate, even if you don't create a collision, you swapping
Mm-hmm.
spots back and forth, you technically slow down. It slows your pace down. It
Yeah.
slows your cars down. What does that mean? All of a sudden, a competitor that you left in the dust, now you've brought him closer. And all of a sudden, he can, instead of you finishing first and second, you might now finish first and third. Or you might finish second and third, if that competitor, like a Max Verstappen, all of a sudden you let him back in. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, this dude's a generational talent, right? At the end of the day, this
Mm-hmm.
dude's a beast. Like him or
Yep.
not, he's a fucking monster. And
Mm-hmm.
so those are the kind of things you have to weigh. And for me, I think that's interesting. I agree with you 100%. That's a good problem to have if you
Yeah.
managed it correctly from the start. Because there's been times where, like for example, at the previous race that
Mm-hmm.
Max Verstappen won,
Okay.
it was Piastri telling them, "Let me tell Lando to let me pass him, so I can go get Max Verstappen." They told him no.
Because they wanted Lando
Well,
second.
why would you tell Piastri no? If he's fast, if he had a faster pace than Lando, why did you tell
Mm-hmm.
him no? If you're gonna let them duke it out going forward, then why didn't you let them duke it out then?
Oh man,
You see
it's
what I'm saying? So you see, like, so
yeah.
they're inconsistent, and that's their drama that they've caused for themselves. Um,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, they've caused themselves some unnecessary drama. That's the funny part.
Yeah,
Um, so we'll see. That'll make for some interesting stuff.
I know.
You know, the other
When's
interesting stuff. The next one's
go for
Miami
it,
in
go
two
for it.
weeks. Oh, I was gonna say the next one's Miami.
Oh, okay. The
Miami,
other
so we won't
interesting,
have
what
to
were you
stay
gonna
up.
say?
All the rumors that are swirling with the whole Max Verstappen thing. I don't know if you've caught them, but um, there's rumors that Max Verstappen is going to leave Red Bull,
Mm-hmm.
and that he might be going to Mercedes or he might be going to Aston Martin. Um,
Yep.
all these things, and it's funny because it sounds like there's a rumor that's true where Red Bull was actually talking to George Russell.
George Russell.
Um,
Yep, I've heard that. I heard that
which is
rumor.
interesting because then it's like, okay, well, if George Russell leaves Mercedes, then what's the genuine thing for Verstappen to do? It's it's it to go to Mercedes. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading all these different things. I don't know that that's what would happen, but I didn't remember that he has a clause in his contract that if the team is third in points, then he can opt out of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
So meaning like that's how bad the team is.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I'm opting out of this contract. Or if he's worse, I think it's if they're worse than third by the summer, he can opt out
Yeah,
of his
okay.
contract. Um, and so there's that. But I've also heard some very interesting takes. In fact, I heard a very interesting take just today that like Verstappen might just up and leave F1. You know,
Yeah.
because he has said it before. He
Yeah.
doesn't need the money. He's he's a
Mm-hmm.
four-time champ, right? I think he's a four-time champ. Pretty positive he's or three-time
Yeah,
champ.
4 times.
Four-time, right? Yeah. So he doesn't care. He's not trying to be in it until he's 40. Um, and so he he wants to do other things. He wants to do other type of racing, and I think he's also getting tired of the rules and regulations by the FIA president who's like, "Oh, you can't curse on the radio. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you can't do that."
Okay.
Um, so right now, what he's basically doing, which a lot of people thought that he was mad at Piastri at the end of the race, but what they're
Mhm.
saying is he's not really mad at Piastri. He's pissed off at the FIA. And
Mm.
so for him not really talking is basically what I attributed to. And I thought, oh my God, this would be hilarious if he did it. It would be him not talking is the equivalent of Marshawn Lynch saying, "I'm just here so I don't get fined."
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So because he can't really say too many things because then he's going to get fined or he's going to get docked points, which he can't afford to get, right? So
Yeah.
so you know I they're saying that he's tired of their bullshit. He doesn't like it, and if that's
Mhm.
the case, he might just up and leave because he made it clear that he wasn't trying to be in F1 forever and a day.
Okay.
Um, and that the reason he's not talking is not because he's pissed at Oscar. He's pissed at the FIA and he's gonna play their game. So he's over here like I'm not talking. I'm just here so I don't get fined. I was like, oh my god, that'd be
Mm.
epic. Because yeah, I think the FIA is getting a little stupid with their rules too, and it's getting
Yeah,
a little
yep.
annoying. So I think that was their take, and I was like, okay, that's not a bad take to have. I think it's interesting, and I think it's realistic. It's there's a chance there.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what's gonna happen, dude.
I mean,
It's the
from
drama.
what I'm hearing is, or from what I've read, some of the posts that I've seen, is the reason I think Max will leave Red Bull. I think the reason why he's leave is just so he could experience a whole new team, just so
Mm-hmm.
he could say, "Fuck it, I went to a new team, new experience." And like I did hear about that George Russell going to Red Bull, so that seat is available. And the reason why Max would take that Mercedes seat is because of Antonelli, which is Antonelli's showing that he's a
Right.
good driver. He could be
They
up there
want to
with,
keep their young talent, which is on a cheaper contract.
yeah, exactly. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can see that. I can see Max, not helping Antonelli, but like
Mm-hmm.
being like, oh, okay, I feel more comfortable with this teammate.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be there at least up there on the top, and I guess we could help each other, whatever. But I
Right.
think that's the reason why he would go to Mercedes because Antonelli is there. So I mean, but
Yeah.
we'll see. It's a good rumor, but it'll be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So Formula One, man, it is. I
Uh,
told you before, it's racing, but like with the drama of a telenovela. It is.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, it is so good on on the
It's
track
funny.
and
It's
off
funny.
the track. It's both.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, man, we'll see. I mean, the next race will be 2 weekends from now in Miami.
Okay.
Uh, won't be one that we have to stay up late
Oh, okay.
for.
Okay. That's dope.
It'll be, if I'm not mistaken, free practice. FP1 is Friday, May 2nd at 9:30 a.m. Our
Okay.
time. Then, oh, it's a sprint race. Okay. So for those that don't know what a sprint race is basically there's two races in the weekend. One's like a modified, smaller version of the race. Then on Sunday, you've got your
Mhm.
regular race. So because of that, there isn't as many free practices. So there's free practice one, Friday or FP1, Friday at 9:30 a.m. May 2nd, and then they have basically the qualifying for the sprint race, which they call a sprint shootout. That same Friday at
Mhm.
1:30 p.m. And then they do the sprint race Saturday, so we get to see a race on Saturday, May
Okay.
3rd at 9 a.m. And then we'll have qualifying for the regular race Saturday at 1 p.m. And then the race on Sunday at 1 p.m. Uh, so we don't have to wake
Oh,
up
okay.
early. We don't have to stay up late. Perfect. Great time.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Um, and then if you've never seen um, Miami's Grand Prix, they go all out. Almost like Vegas, but
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
but this is a
Yeah.
day race, so it's like it's Miami, it's money, it's yachts, it's you
Yeah.
know,
The
it's a big
sun,
deal. The
everything,
sun,
and yep.
yeah, it's a big deal. So it'll be and it'll be hot. So because it's gonna be hot,
Yep.
there's some issues there with people's cars and their setups. So it'll definitely be interesting. It should be a good race, and we'll see we'll see how McLaren does on that day.
We'll see. We'll see.
But I want to shout out, like you said, Hajar. I'm
Yeah.
we are supporting Hajar in this house. We're like, all right, let's go Hajar. Um, we love that Liam Slowson is sucking balls, and that he even got a 10-second penalty, which was fantastic. We're like, dude, come on, like this is how horrible you are. Like you got a 10-second penalty for screwing up again. Unfortunately, Yuki had, I think, an accident, or he had a
Yeah, he
run in,
did.
so he didn't get to finish the race. Um, and then the Williams cars, finally, the Williams cars, they came in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
They both got points. Sainz got points. Albon got points. Remember in the beginning, I said I'm going to be supporting Williams. So I was happy that the Williams
Mm-hmm.
cars,
Mm-hmm.
both of them scored points. That was pretty epic for a midfield team. And then, of course, both of them came. One came in eighth. Carlos Sainz was eighth. Alexander Albon
Mm-hmm.
was ninth. So they got some points there. And, of course, the last point, the 1 point, was Isaac Hajar. So for those of you who
Yep.
don't know, Isaac Hajar had a rough start to the season as a rookie. The dude crashed in the formation lap of the first race.
Yep.
Was it the first race? I think it was the first
Uh,
race. I think it was the
yeah, I
first.
think it was.
Yeah. It was the first race of the season. Literally crashed. The boy, you could tell, was crying through his helmet. And obviously, you got a lot of sympathy from everyone because Lewis Hamilton's dad was consoling him, letting him know it's okay.
Yeah.
And Hajar's done great ever since. At least I think for a rookie, he's done great, and he's definitely come
Yeah.
in, definitely been higher than Liam Lawson every time. So
Oh yes.
great for Isaac. They can't say that it's the car, because it's like, all right, well, you couldn't handle the car with Red Bull, Mr. Liam Lawson, and now they say you were supposed to do better, and you haven't
Mm-hmm.
done better. So kudos to Isaac Hajar, kudos to Carlos Sainz, kudos to Alexander Albon, big kudos to Mr. Antonelli, Kimi
Yep.
Antonelli, that is. And yeah, man, this is
I
gonna be a
think
good season.
I kind of want to root for Antonelli. I know I said I was
Yeah,
going to root with you with signs,
yeah.
but a part of me is like, man,
Go
Antonelli's
for it,
is
dude.
getting up there. He's catching my attention. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I might
man.
go with
Yeah,
Antonelli.
take your boy Antonelli. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I
Yeah.
don't have a dog in this race, so for me, I'm like, let's go. I got a couple of drivers that I'm rooting for. I just really want to see
Yeah. Yeah.
Williams kind of turn it around. But yeah, dude, take your boy
Okay.
Antonelli.
Okay.
I got no hate for Antonelli. I like Antonelli.
Oh, okay. Okay.
One,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
I'm paying attention. I'm catching myself paying attention more to him. So that's why I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I think I'm
All
gonna
right.
stick to Antonelli.
All right. All right. All right. All right. So
But yeah, man, that does it for F1, right?
that does it for F1, which leads us to our very next topic, and the one that your boy Ceez has been
Yes, sir.
dying to talk about. So a while back, I told Ceez, you got to jump on the show, Ceez. You got to jump on it, man. I think it's gonna tickle your it's gonna tickle your pickle, and so
Mm-hmm.
he got on it, and he's been loyal to it. He's been watching it, and he just wrapped up
Yeah.
season 1. So, Cease, tell him what show we're talking about, man.
All right. Yeah. So the show we're talking about is Severance. It's Apple TV series.
Yeah,
Definitely
buddy.
I caught the first episode, and I was like, damn, this is trippy. And then I've been catching. I think every not. It took me like about a month, I want to say, right, or 3 weeks to like pretty
Yeah, I thought
much
it's three
complete season
weeks.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's I was like, man, this shit is trippy. It's first thought it was like this shit is a cult. Like this is a cult, old ass cult from like the what is it the founders of America
Yeah.
Day and shit like
Yeah.
the settlers day. Like,
Yeah.
dude, this shit is crazy. And then the second thought is like it's a first thought cult. Second thought is like these fools are trying to create the perfect employee. And then of course as the series goes on, then you like, dude, these fools are trying to create the perfect human, like or like the
Yeah.
righteous human, the religious human, and yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like from the main character Mark to Haley R. I of course I caught the whole season one where she's actually like the daughter of one of the founders and shit.
The Egan's.
To
The
Irving,
Egan's.
the Egans, yeah,
Yeah.
to Irving, um, being kind of gay, having sexual feelings for Bert,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
then Dylan, where
Uh-huh.
he's he wakes up at home and he sees his son, and then they flip it out. They
Oh,
flip the switch,
bro.
and then man, I was like, oh shh.
The
Yeah, that
switch,
shit was
bro.
crazy,
That
man.
switch,
Yeah, the
dude.
switch. Yeah, the switch. And then the funny thing is, I like when Dylan was holding like both switches, I'm like, dude, why don't you fucking just think about it and grab a stick and like give yourself some
Yeah.
more room
Yeah.
or like more extension.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good, man. It was dope. Like seeing everything, like the
Right.
sister Devin with the husband
Mm.
Rickens.
Mm.
I have a feeling Rickens is he's I want to say he's part of the cult somehow, but
Yeah.
who knows? Um, but yeah, dude. And then the Miss Cobalt, Milchek,
Oh yeah, dude.
uh,
Oh.
Milch. I think Milchek actually lives down there somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, this was always there. What the fuck? He never goes home and shit. Like, and
Yeah.
then of course Miss Selvig is Miss Cobalt.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
she's neighbors to Mark. And so my thinking is like, so they're trying to create the perfect employee. I think they had Irving as the perfect employee, but the problem with him is that he dozes off. Getting up in age, I guess, and he tends to
Mhm.
like just doze off, fall asleep, and so that's why he can't be the perfect employee.
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
the other one, Dylan, is I think he can become the perfect employee. He hits his quotas, but he
Mhm.
wants perks. He wants the whole like,
Well, that's
oh,
his
like I
motivation.
did.
Yeah, that's his motivation
Yeah,
is
his
the perks,
motivation.
which are some
Uh,
random stupid ass perks, but okay.
Yeah, like the waffle party. I was like, what? And then talking about the waffle party, I was like, what the? I was like, all right, man, this is some definitely creepy cult shit, like for sure. And then
Yeah.
of course Helly. The one thing I find it weird is that the other dude, Petey, I find
Mhm.
it weird that they both of those two are the only ones that have nicknames, or like their names are not Peter or Helena,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
Petey is Peter and Helena is Helly. And I was like, I find that weird. I was like, is my thinking is Peter part of the Egans? Is he part of the full family where they try to make him the perfect, employee, but
Mhm.
something went wrong with him where he started thinking differently. But of course, sorry for the spoiler, but he dies.
Mhm.
And so I was like, oh man, this is it's trippy how both of them have different names. The other
Yeah.
ones is Dylan and Irving, and then
Mhm.
there's Mark. It's not
Mhm.
Marky, you know.
Right. Right. Right.
So yeah, I find that weird. And then I also find the girl that Mark was the black chick. I forgot her name.
Oh, the assist the
Alexa, I
chick
think.
that the chick that's always wearing the earpiece.
No, not that one. The chick that's helping his sister with
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
birth.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think she's part of the whole cult too, keeping an eye on him. um, and then what else? Of course, the wife Gemma. She's alive because she's Miss Casey,
yeah.
and that was trippy. I was like, oh, I thought Helena was gonna be the wife,
Mhm.
but no, it's Miss Casey, and Miss Casey gets sent down to the what is it, break room or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Oh man, the whole season was trippy from the hallways. The baby goat room.
Oh, dude.
Uh, the the whole like O&D department where it's like just Bert and that other old
Yeah.
lady.
Operation and development. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end, the back, it's like the whole another like, damn, that's just crazy. So I think what happens is that they've been trying to create the perfect employee for a long time. but this group of employees always revolt because they just it's just natural to them that they just want to know more about themselves outside. Um, and so yeah, I think that's what always that I think that's what always happens to Lumen in that MDR micro data refinement group, that they always
Yeah,
revolt
yeah, yeah.
because
Okay.
they're just too curious. Curiosity killed the mind,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so and I think also they're trying to create the perfect I guess family, because
Mhm.
when the sister is having the baby, she goes to another girl where she's having a baby also in the cabin,
Mhm.
and then the girl's like,
Mhm.
oh, we're gonna name him this way, and then a day later the sister sees the same girl,
Mhm.
and they're like, oh, he's got a different name. So she's thinking like, oh, she's been severed, and
Mhm.
she's been severed to have a baby and shit. So it's trippy, trippy, trippy. But yeah, it's a good, man. I'm gonna catch season two. Um, I mean, we'll see where they go. I mean, they got caught, of course. I'm sure when they
Mhm.
go back into the Lumen downstairs to the MDR room, they're gonna talk about their experience when they were out.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see. I know, I gotta watch season two, but I'm actually waiting. I'm excited for season three. I was like, oh man, I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
All right. All right. So I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember. I'm trying to remember
yeah.
what else you've already
What can you give
seen.
me? No, I mean,
Um, I can tell you. I don't think they've explained to you in season one what what they're what exactly they're doing as the micro data refining.
hmm
So in
hmm
season two, you'll find out why he's doing what he's doing.
okay,
Meaning, like,
okay.
or you'll find out what he's doing, what they're actually like physically doing with the data that they have, but you won't find out
Okay.
like we don't know the why yet. Does that make sense? Like
Oh, okay.
they'll give you a lot more to get there, and you're like, so you're gonna only
hmm
continue to build your theory and be like, what the fuck?
Okay. Okay.
It's gonna get crazier. Um,
Okay.
it's yeah, it's gonna give you a different perspective. A lot of the stuff
hmm
that you saw will be also make more sense in season two. So that
Okay.
it's going to be intense, dude. If you thought season one was like
Yeah.
nutty, um, season two is going to be even crazier. I didn't think it could be. It
hmm
is. There's so much to it. For me, I'm hooked on the whole moral dilemma of the thing, right? Like for
hmm
example, like they're two different people. By now, you know that they're two different people, right? You have an innie and
Yeah.
an outie. I'm
hmm
fascinated by the dilemma of if one day you say, fuck this, I'm out, I quit, I don't want to do this as the outie, then what are you essentially doing? You're essentially killing your innie because that was a whole different
Yeah.
person. That person will cease to exist if you don't go back. And then,
Mm,
I think as an innie, you're also trying to fight for your life. And so keep that in mind. Like,
okay.
the two different people and one justifying versus the other justifying. That's going to come in huge in season two. So keep that
Okay.
in mind. And you'll be like, fuck, that is a crazy ass thing to think about. And
Yeah.
so the show just, there's so many layers to it. And I think that's why I'm hooked. Is just because it's a total fucking, it's a mind fuck. It is literally a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Um, and there's so much more to Heli. There's so much more
Okay.
to Milchek. Um,
Mm,
and if you thought like the whole Egan cult thing was weird, it's only gonna get weirder.
yeah. Yeah.
um, I'm gonna tell you right now that I don't equate it to. Well, I guess you could equate it to a cult. I'm thinking it's more like a religious nut kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They strike me as that weird religious kind of family. I don't know, but they're
Yeah.
keeping it all in the family, right? Like it's a
Hmm.
generation of you know, I don't know. I find it really really weird that the Egans are who they are.
The one I'm a little confused is I know Miss Sovic. I know she has like an altar of Guy. Is that guy Egan or is he Kerr? That's what
Which one?
I'm a little like. Wait, is this?
Which one?
so in so in so in Miss Sovic,
Mm-hmm.
she's in the Audi.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her own home,
Right.
and I think when they fire her, she goes home and she destroys like a bunch of like this altar to a guy. I want to say it's an Egan because
Yeah, it's
she
an
she
Egan.
works for
It's
Lumen. So.
it's an Egan. So
But I'm
she's
like, who? But I'm like, who is this guy? Like, is he like an old timer from long ago? And she just adores him and shit,
it's the
or is
main
it
Egan.
like,
It's the main Egan.
oh, okay, the beginning. Okay, 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 got you.
Yeah, yeah. So it's the main Egan. She's like, I mean, by now you already know. So she's
Yeah, and
essentially a
her
die.
going off on her little,
Yeah, she's essentially a diehard.
yeah, she's going off. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a diehard, and so what you saw in that moment of her destroying everything is she's basically feeling betrayed because she's given
Yeah, yeah.
her all. So she's a diehard. She's also kind of nutty, but she's still going to play a
Mm-hmm.
significant role in season two. So she doesn't just
Yep.
kind of disappear. She plays a significant role, and you're going to have to decide, like, all right, what side of the fence is this crazy ass chick on? Because she's
Mm-hmm.
got to be crazy to 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 be part of Lumen, right? You got to be crazy.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
fucking even Milchek. I mean, the dude, like, I don't know, bro. He gives off scary vibes.
Yeah.
um, but Milchek's character is like, oh, bro, it's chef's kiss. Milchek is
Okay.
fucking hilarious, dude. I think I think it's the dude that plays Milchek. Fucking kudos to that guy. I think he's an
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
actor. Yeah, like I think
Yep.
that's cool. Um, yeah, they all, dude. It's season two clears up a lot of things, but it's almost like it gives you even more questions.
Yeah. Of course.
And I used to, I brought it up to you last time we talked, and I'm like, it's straight out, for those of you who are old enough to remember, it straight out gives
Mm-hmm.
Lost vibes. It straight out
Yeah.
does. And the deep dives that you want to do because of it, like, again, that was the first show that I ever did deep dives in, and Caesar and I would do some serious fucking deep dives on
Yeah.
Lost. Um, and so that's kind of what it gives me. And kudos to Caesar if he wants to hang on and wait till season three gets closer, so he can kind of just go from season two into season three. I couldn't wait. I was like, yo, I gotta watch season two. Fuck
Yeah.
that shit. I gotta get through it. Um,
Yeah.
and now I'm over
Yeah.
here
Because
like,
I
oh, I need more. I'm over here like Tyrone
for
and
real,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah,
And I think season three is gonna be probably next year, end of probably next year.
yeah,
Because I've heard that they're writing it right now, so I was like, fuck this. So they got to go write it, production maybe at the end of
yeah,
this year, and then edit it, all that stuff. So maybe middle of next year or end of next year. So I mean, we still
yeah,
got a time, but I'm thinking about it. But I'll probably end up watching season two, and I'll keep you guys updated, like with the whole what I think and everything that's going
yeah,
down with it. But yeah, man, it's a good show. It's a good, really good show.
yeah. I'm telling you, dude. Like, and this, like, the cinematography, dude, and just the way they do, like, oh, it's gonna be so good, dude. Like, I'm telling you, you're
Yeah.
gonna. I'm pumped for you to see
Hmm.
season two, and then I'm gonna need you to tell me that once you watch season two, I'm gonna need you to tell me if you foresaw some of that, because I foresaw some of it. So I was like, oh shit, I was
Okay.
right for season two. I was like, okay, all right, like I got that right. Um, but still, there's a lot that I haven't hit on.
I
Like,
mean,
oh,
I think the one person, like I said, Rickens, that the brother-in-law.
uh huh,
I know he's the Arthur, of course, and he's very spacey and shit. But
Oh,
I
he's a
think he's
fucking
gonna.
space
I
cadet.
feel, yeah, I think he's gonna have a big role in season two. But well, I mean, we'll see. And then, of course, Miss Silvic, Miss Cobalt, I think she's gonna have a big role, and hopefully they end up getting Miss Casey back. 'Cause I think now they're worried about Miss Casey, that she's gone, and but of course they know that she's married, she's wife with Mark. So, but
Yeah.
we'll see, man.
Do
It's
you
gonna be
wonder?
good.
Do you wonder why? Like, why did they grab his wife? How did that come about?
Why after the accident, like during, because the story is that they had an accident, she died.
Mm-hmm.
But now, of course, I think Miss Selvig, because I think Miss Selvig has this fascination with Mark. She's trying to create this perfect employee, perfect person out of what is it? Out of a tragedy. So he's vulnerable, and so she takes
Okay.
Mark, and she convinces him to join Lumen, I guess. And but of course she takes to create that that more, not the heartache or the sadness. She takes Mark's wife and converts her into a Lumen employee without her consent.
Right.
And Miss Gemma turns out to be Miss Casey. Um, but I mean, it's gonna be. I honestly think they're gonna connect, and I think it's gonna come down to Mark having to decide between Helly and having to decide between Jenna, because
Okay.
Helly is starting to get feelings for Mark, and I think it's vice
Okay.
versa. But I
Okay.
think eventually they're gonna find out that Gemma is the wife of Mark in the
Okay.
Audi,
Okay.
and
Okay.
so that's gonna be big. Because I remember I did watching the episode season one. I remember Dylan saying like, "Oh, love." He said, "Love transcends severance," or something like that. And I was like,
Okay.
"Oh, okay." So I'm like, "Love." The whole purpose of it is love is gonna conquer severance,
Right.
and so
Right.
that's why I think that's gonna be the dilemma, either Helly or Gemma. Yeah, so I was like, man, this is good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ceez, I can't wait, bro. I can't wait for you to jump on it.
Uh,
Like it, whether you
uh,
jump on it soon or you jump on it in a while, bro. Like, oh, you're gonna love it so much, dude. You're gonna love it so much. And
yeah.
I love your theories. I'm not gonna validate or invalidate any of your theories
Yeah.
because that would give away too much, right? But like,
Mm-hmm.
let's just say you're. I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm not gonna tell you which one. You're
Mm-hmm.
hot. You're hot on one. You're cold on another one.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
will tell
Okay.
you which one. I I don't. I mean, it's kind of hard because I don't know for certain. I guess that you couldn't be right for the other one because that part technically hasn't been revealed for us. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, right. As of now, you're hot on one, cold on the other in terms of the two theories that
Mm.
you gave out. Um. So yeah, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, it's gonna get
I
so
mean,
so good.
I'm gonna try to get on season two. I'll probably watch episode one, season two this
Yeah.
week.
Okay.
Probably by
Okay.
the end of
Okay.
this weekend,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, dude,
Okay.
it just should be good, man.
All right. So if you watch anything this weekend, you gotta text me just your thoughts. Because
Okay. Okay.
I'll be in San Francisco, so I won't be here. I won't be here
Oh,
to
okay.
this weekend, so we won't be able to record on Sunday or anything like
Yeah.
that. But I'll still be curious to
Oh,
know your
totally.
thoughts. Oh, dude, I'm gonna. Oh my god, I want to know
I
your
know,
thoughts. And I
dude.
know
I want
I.
to watch these, like, cause I'm like the yeah, yeah. Let me know what Yanni says about it. Like,
Oh yeah.
what
Oh,
does
she's
she
gonna be.
say that I'm missing,
Yeah.
or what did
Yeah.
I miss from season one, from the
Yeah.
characters and all that stuff. So
Yeah. I'll
yeah,
make
dude.
sure
It's
to get the link from where she goes into her deep dives. For shit that like
oh,
was
okay, yeah,
like she likes to go into the like things that were like completely subtle, like that you missed, and I was like, oh fuck, how
yeah.
did I
Mm-hmm.
miss that? Like, yeah, dude, she's even deeper than I am because for me it's more like this is
Oh,
what I
okay.
think, this is what I caught, and I'm either right or like most of the time I'm right. I've struggled with Severance, but
Mm-hmm.
she takes the time to like listen to like every podcast that she can think of or whatever. And if there's a
Okay.
podcast that already came out, that I know there's one where there's two dudes, kind of like you and I, and they are diehard Severance guys. And yeah, like
Okay.
for like season one, they were like more low key, and now season two they went like way more into it. But
Oh
but
shit. Okay. Okay.
but you could watch it because it's not like it's giving anything away, right? I think they were like
Mm-hmm.
they were doing episodes as an episode came out, and so you wouldn't obviously go
Oh, okay.
past where you're at. So
Gotcha.
I'll ask her for that. But yeah, dude, she's gonna be pumped to hear what you had to say. I know she was
Yeah,
excited
man.
about it. Like I said, she was mad. She was mad when I told her. I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm Liddy Titty. I was supposed to record today, and Caesar wanted to talk about Severance." She's like, "What? What the fuck? I really wanted to hear." I was like, "I don't know what to tell you, but I'm drunk. I can't record." So yeah, so
Yeah, man. It's
she was
good.
itchy. She was itchy for this episode. So yeah,
Yeah, no, and then I mean, just tell her. I mean, honestly, I can't wait till season 3,
oh
so we
fuck
could
yeah,
talk
dude.
about,
Yeah.
the next podcast. Be like, yo, season 3, episode
Oh my
1.
god, dude!
What
I
did you think
can't.
about it?
Oh
Did you
my
catch
god,
this? Did you catch that? Yeah,
I
that's gonna be
know.
dope.
I can't wait till the both of us are caught up and we're like watching the episodes at the same. Oh my god, like
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
oh
That's
that's
gonna be
gonna be
dope.
so good, dude. This fucking show, bro.
Yeah.
This fucking show.
But no, yeah, like I said, I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated where I'm at, and give you
All
my
right.
thoughts on like the whole season,
Yeah.
season 2, and everything.
Okay. All right. All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, why don't you go ahead and put your theories as to what you think is going on, but only up until season one, or at least what you
Yeah.
thought of up until season one. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. Wrap up season one. Maybe put your comments on here if you're doing that. If you've already watched up to season two, don't spoil it for Caesar or anyone
No,
else
I
that
mean,
hasn't seen it.
look, yeah, I'm not. I don't hate spoilers. I'm like, if you guys want to tell me what it is, I'm not gonna be like, no, don't tell me. I'm
Yeah,
not like that. I'm just like, all right,
yeah,
cool, say it. I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
But yeah, if you guys want to comment, go for it. But
yeah,
I'll read the first 3 words and then be like, all right, never mind.
yeah,
Because I
yeah.
do want to be surprised, but I don't
Right.
care about spoilers. So yeah,
But let us know if you agree. Or how about this? Let us know if you agree with Caesar's takes. How about that?
yeah,
You can let us know if you agree
hmm
with Caesar's takes. If you think they're trying to create the perfect employee, or if you think at some point or another, Mark's going to have to choose between Helly and Gemma, and then anything
hmm
else that you can think of that you agree with, or even just tell us why you love the show. That would be pretty good if
yeah,
you love the show. And if you haven't, I strongly recommend that you catch it so that you can also get caught up and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Because I'm telling everybody that they got to watch it. You know, it's one of those shows where you're like, fuck, it was way better than I. I
yeah.
don't think you thought when I was telling you you got to watch it. I don't think you thought like that the show was going to hook you as well as it did.
Yeah, no, I didn't because I was like, dude, this is my Severance. Okay, is it about like some job, just,
Yeah, that's what I
cutting
thought
checks
too.
for people? But then you like think about it, it's like, oh damn, and you get hooked. You're like, oh shit, this is trippy. Like having 2 worlds, 2 lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's trippy. It's
Let me
trippy.
ask you this: are you the only one watching it, or are you getting your wifey and trying to get her into
No,
it?
I'm the only one. I'm the only one. I don't think she could watch it.
Okay.
Um, I'll try, but I don't think she'll be like, nah, nah, I got work to do. So I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely watching it
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
your wifey's a hard worker, so I get that. I get
Yeah,
that for sure. Okay, all right, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna do it for episode 34. We this was a good one. I like it. I like it a
yeah,
lot. Glad we got to talk about Severance. I know he was itching. I know it's itching to hear
I
what he had to
know.
say. So
Uh,
yeah, that was a good episode. I can't
Uh,
wait to
and I, and I'm
good.
sure next episode I'm gonna come up with other things. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this on Severance, and oh yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot. I should
yeah.
write it down. I'll try to do that. Write it down for season 2. like
Yeah.
my thoughts and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
good, man.
Yeah. Are you? Yeah. And like I said, I'll get you that info so you can do the deep dive on season one, so you can see where you were even at
Mm-hmm.
with your takes or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think going
Okay. Okay.
forward until the main focus of our sports, which is NFL, really starts to pick up, I think Severance
Mm-hmm.
is going to do a really good job of picking up the slack on that for us. And then obviously F1,
Yep.
no big deal there. And then we'll obviously get closer to the championship for the basketball season. We'll see
Yep.
what kind of things are going on in baseball. And then hopefully we can get some more baseball card packs
I
because,
know.
or sorry, football card packs, not baseball. Because I need to get back on that train, get something good, and no,
I
we haven't
know, dude.
forgot.
We have to.
We'll try and continue working on the on getting those
The
cards sent
PSA.
out. Yep, getting
I
those
know.
cards sent out. But it is what it is. I mean, listen, guys, this is our real life. We are two guys that are happily married. We've got I've got two daughters. My boy C's got three boys, so we are pretty busy. We are in the thick of it. We
Yep.
do love what we do. We do love doing this. I love it a lot. I know C's loves it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I would, if it was up to me, I'd probably like to take it even to a higher level with some better editing, some graphics, and not just pitch black. I mean, I am pitch black right now. Normally, I have a background. If you remember the early episodes, I had like a Bills background, or I have my Checo background. Um, it's tough, guys, and I don't have a lot of time because softball's dominating my world. I'm sure Caesar, as he gets, his boys get older, he's going to be running into the same boat if they get into some
Yep.
extracurricular activities. So it is what it is. We're trying to show you guys kind of where we come from, our thoughts, and just being two regular guys, two regular dads, two regular husbands, and kind of sharing some of our life with you guys on that. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys understanding. Appreciate you guys taking the time to look at our different dynamic than the other shows that are more professional, more in
Mm-hmm.
depth,
Mm-hmm.
and solely focused on one content, where we're a little bit focused on more and being a little bit real. So, guys, we appreciate you guys watching. That's gonna wrap it up for episode 34. C's, take it away.
Oh man, thank you guys for watching. Comment, hit that like button. We'll definitely be back soon. Just give us some time. We'll talk about the draft, and I'll definitely talk about Severance and F1, like Sergio said, the NBA, all that good stuff. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, thank
Uh,
you, thank you.
Yep, definitely. So, guys, stay tuned for the next episode. Much love to everyone. Make sure you guys keep your head up, stay positive. Don't forget that we love and appreciate each and every one. Big shout out to my boy C's, to your fam. Much love to you guys.
Yes,
That
sir. Same to you, Serge. Same to you.
Yes, sir. That's gonna do it for us, guys. This is HCP. Come Homie Connect podcast
Peace.
episode 34 is a wrap. Later. Talk to you guys on the next episode.